So, let me ask you something. What if I told you that one of the absolute best sci-fi movies of the last, decade or so, is also one of the most misunderstood? Seriously. We're going to dive into a story that just blew people's minds, but also, it seems, left a lot of us kind of scratching our heads. You think you know the movie Arrival? Well, stick with me, because you might be in for a pretty big surprise.
Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine it's 2016. 12 absolutely massive, totally silent alien ships just appear all over the world. People are freaking out, obviously, and it really feels like we're teetering on the edge of a global war. The biggest question isn't just what do they want, it's how do we even ask them? And the answer? The whole world's hope rests on one person, a brilliant linguist, Dr. Louise Banks. Her job? To do the impossible, figure out their language and find out why they're here. And right here, this is where Arrival stops being just another alien movie and becomes something else entirely. It throws this incredible question at you. What if the most powerful thing in the entire universe isn't some crazy weapon or a faster-than-light spaceship, but a language? You know, a language that could actually change the way you see everything?
So early on, the aliens, they're called heptapods, give us one word, and that word is weapon. And you can imagine the chaos that causes, right? But Dr. Banks, our linguist, she has this gut feeling, what if that's not quite right? What if weapon can also mean tool? And that's the genius of it. The gift they're giving us is a weapon, but not the kind you think. It's their language. And that is a tool that is about to change everything.
So, what does this language even look like? Well, forget everything you know about reading. It's not left to right, top to bottom. The heptapods write in these beautiful, complex circles called logograms, and in just one of these symbols, an entire thought, past, present, and future, it all exists at the same time. It's mind-bending. And as Dr. Banks starts to learn this, to think this way, something wild happens. Her brain literally starts to rewire itself, and suddenly she's not seeing time as a straight line anymore. For her, it's becoming a circle. Okay, and here's the part that's truly amazing. You might be thinking, wow, cool sci-fi concept, right? But this isn't just made up out of thin air. The entire premise of Arrival, this whole brain rewiring thing, it's actually based on a real, honest-to-goodness scientific theory. The movie just takes this pretty academic idea and runs with it, pushing it to its absolute limit. Yeah, it's a mouthful, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, but the core idea is actually pretty simple to grasp. It suggests that the language you speak doesn't just describe the world you see, it actually shapes it. The words you have, the structure of your sentences, they can literally change how you perceive everything, from colors to, you guessed it, time itself. Now, there are kind of two versions of this idea. There's the strong version, which is super extreme. It says language completely determines how you think. Like, if you don't have a word for love, you literally can't feel it. A little out there, right? But then there's the weaker version, which most linguists are more on board with. It says language just influences how you think. It nudges you in certain directions. And that is exactly the playground that Arrival is in. And you want a real-world example of this? This is amazing. Researchers studied the Himba tribe in Namibia, and they found that their language has a bunch of different words for shades of green. Shades that honestly you and I would probably just call green. But because they have the words for them, they can spot the differences instantly, while we're just staring at it, clueless. Their language literally changed how they see the world. So, if it can do that for color, just imagine what it could do for something like time. Okay. So we've established that we're talking about this deep, brilliant, award-winning film about language, time, and aliens. Got it. But this is where things get weirdly complicated. Because for a surprising number of people, when you mention the movie Arrival, they're thinking of something completely, and I mean completely, different. Yeah, here's the thing. When you say Arrival, which movie are you actually talking about? Because it all comes down to one simple, hilarious fact. There are two big sci-fi movies with basically the same name. They came out 20 years apart, and they could not be more different. One is a thoughtful, philosophical work of art, and the other? Well, the other is an alien invasion action flick starring Charlie Sheen.
All right, let's just lay it all out. On one hand, you've got Arrival from 2016. That's the Amy Adams one, all about language, philosophy, and preceding time. But then, you've got The Arrival from 1996, the one with Charlie Sheen, and that one's about aliens who are secretly living here and cranking up the thermostat on Earth to make it their new beach house.
So, let's talk a little more about that 1996 movie for a second. This story was not about having a thoughtful conversation with aliens. Oh no, this was a straight-up classic 90s action movie about kicking alien butt.
So in this one, Charlie Sheen plays an astronomer, and he stumbles onto this massive conspiracy. Turns out aliens are already here, they look just like us, and they're behind global warming. They're basically terraforming the planet, cranking up the heat to kill us off and make Earth more comfortable for them. Classic alien real estate scam.
And let's just say this. Franchise didn't exactly have the same staying power as the 2016 film. It did get a sequel, Arrival 2, but it was one of those straight-to-video deals that pretty much everyone agreed was just a terrible copy of the first one. And that was the end of that.
All right, so now that we've separated the thoughtful sci-fi masterpiece from the Charlie Sheen action flick, let's get back to the one that really matters. Why does the 2016 Arrival stick with us so much? I mean, it's more than just a different plot. It's a totally different kind of movie, and man, did it make an impact.
Well, first off, let's talk numbers. The movie was made for what's honestly a pretty small budget in Hollywood terms, only $47 million, and it made over $200 million. That's huge. And it sent a massive signal to the movie industry. Hey, people are actually hungry for smart sci-fi that makes you think.
And it wasn't just audiences who loved it. The critics went wild too. I mean, we're talking 8 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture. It won all the big sci-fi awards like the Hugo and the Ray Bradbury. And everyone, absolutely everyone, was talking about Amy Adams' incredible performance. She was the absolute heart and soul of the film.
And really, that's the magic trick of the 2016 Arrival, isn't it? It's what people call thinking person sci-fi. It takes these huge, brainy ideas about linguistics and physics, but it wraps them in this incredibly powerful, emotional story. It's not just about ideas, it's about feeling.
And all of this brings us to the question that the movie leaves you with long after the credits roll. After Dr. Banks learns the language, she can see her whole life laid out before her. The good parts, the beautiful parts, and the heartbreaking parts too. And she still says yes. She chooses to live it all. So the question it leaves for us is, if you could see your life from the very beginning to the very end, would you change things, or would you just embrace it all?